I tell you he's not dead. Rupert Murdoch. Come on, Rupert, let's wrap it up. Oh shit, I actually smashed that. What is wrong with me? Why does my comedy destroy everything? Oh, diggity dog, let's make some fucking content! That's how I'm starting the special. There we go. Thanks for coming out, you guys. So good to be here filming another special. I released a special last year on Paramount Plus called Enough. Give us a cheer if you saw Enough. Brutal. Love to perform for my fans. Fucking hell. Why am I bothering? What's the point? Why do we need this? We don't need this. There's too much content. We're all drowning in shows and specials and documentaries. We've all forgotten how to fucking read. I got all the platforms, Netflix, Stan, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus, Roku. I got 12 shows on the go. Can't remember what's fucking happening in any of them. People recommend new shows. Have you seen this thing? You gotta see this. I'm paying $180 a month to be relaxed and entertained, and it's stressing me out! That's the vibe of the hour. Okay. Too much content, and it can't last, right? The whole market is saturated, the economics is fucked. I was reading the other day, Netflix is currently in debt to the tune of $14 billion. Yeah, $14 billion in debt, still not prepared to take the risk on a Tom Ballard comedy special. Yeah, Tom, we're $14 billion in the red, we're not fucking idiots, all right, mate? Now, excuse us, we've got to go give a cooking show to Paris Hilton. I've seen it, it's pretty good. I say, fuck you, Netflix. I don't want a Netflix special. Stop asking. I'm branching out. I work with new platforms. Next month, I have a special coming out on RedTube. And it's called Tom Ballard Raw. And just like Eddie Murphy, I'm dressed in leather, and there's a lot of laughs. It's good times. Thank you, ma'am. Ooh, I feel you're going to be a presence. I'm also developing a series at the moment. This is very exciting with another disruptive platform, Uber Eats. It's a reality show. It's basically Uber Eats meets Queer Eye and involves me telling other gay men which foods they should and shouldn't order from Uber Eats if they're planning on bottoming. And they're like, oh, maybe a Masterman curry. No, Simon, stick to soups. That's called Queer Hole. And that's going to be huge. That's going to be big. I see Netflix has fucking given up, man. They're not even trying anymore. You know that category on Netflix, just watch it again? Just a list of shit you've already seen. Go, yeah, watch it again. You'll watch it again, you little content piggy, lying on your couch in your own filth, playing with your phone and your genitals. Watch it again! And I do. The recommendation algorithm makes no sense, right? Earlier this year, this is totally true, my Netflix told me that because I'd watched Fast and the Furious, I might like the 2001 Oscar-winning biographical drama, A Beautiful Mind. Not even fucking close, mate, okay? I'm not watching Fast and the Furious because I'm a cinephile and I want to learn more about the human experience, okay? I'm watching Fast and the Furious at 3 p.m. on a sunny afternoon because I've recently ingested an industrial amount of MDMA and am now coming down so hard my brain can only operate at a Vin Diesel capacity, okay? So, how about you harvest all that data, pop on National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets, and order me a KFC family feast, please? Yes. That's the future I want. I want my streaming platform to order me shit off Uber Eats, yes. Share all our data, fuck privacy, that's over, okay? Let's go full singularity. Imagine a world, you're on Tinder, right? You're swiping right on Tinder, not getting any love. In that circumstance, Tinder should automatically tell Pornhub to queue up a playlist and pre-order tissues on Amazon. Wouldn't that be good? If my online banking sees me make a cash withdrawal of $350 on a Friday night, it should automatically tell Facebook to shut down my Messenger app, okay? Let's get a parental lock on this shit. I also think we need an app that combines the food delivery and the transport in one. So on a Sunday morning, it's a single driver who brings you the greasy food you need and takes away the person you fucked the night before. Okay? It's all your shame and regret in one beautiful transaction. Goodbye, person whose name I forget. Hello, dumplings. I'm developing that app. It's called Deliveroo, and it's going to be huge. They're the #1 sponsor of Queerhole. Anyway, please watch my special. Check it out on Paramount Plus. Here's a fun story about the special. When I got the special, Paramount Plus said, "Hey Tom, can you write a little blurb to describe what's in the special so people can know?" I said, "Sure thing." Paramount Plus, no worries at all. Here's what I came up with. Tom Ballard's had enough. He's had enough of COVID, capitalism and baby boomers. But he's determined to fix it all by yelling horrible jokes in a beautiful venue. Ballard's fearless, he's unrelenting, and he's at his white-hot rage best in Enough. Yeah. Thank you, pretty exciting. Send that off to Paramount Plus, all good. Then the day the special came out on Paramount Plus, I went to look up my special, and I noticed that Paramount Plus had decided not to use that blurb that we agreed on, okay? They'd gone in a different direction, decided to describe my special in a different way, okay? See what you think they came up with. Tom Ballard performs comedy stand-up. Okay, so that's different, isn't it? That's different. That's considerably shorter than what we agreed on, and different words. Different words in quite a weird order. Let's hear it again. Tom Ballard performs comedy stand-up. Not stand-up comedy, fuck that noise. Nah, man. Everyone else doing stand-up comedy. Not Ballard, baby! He's a maverick! He puts the comedy first! It was humiliating. But I told Paramount Plus and they said sorry about that and they fixed it and it was all good. Except... Guys, this part of the show goes to 20 minutes. Is this not relatable? Hello? Don't you hate it when a platform uses the wrong... Hello? Fuck, maybe I'm losing touch. Part of the deal, Paramount Plus is owned by the same company that owns Channel 10, and part of the deal of getting the special is the special would also go to air on free-to-air television, which it did at 11:07 p.m. on a Tuesday. It was then listed on Channel 10's catch-up service 10play. Now, apparently the good people at 10play, they looked at that blurb that we came up with, the Paramount Plus special, and they said, no, it doesn't work for us. No, thank you. We're going rogue. We're going our own direction. We're going to write our own description of this stand-up special. See what you think of what they came up with. Enough is a brand new comedy special that presents a disdain for the modern capitalist dystopia from an understandably disenfranchised young person. Who weaves his anger into an hour of cathartic hilarity. Hold on to your sides, because Enough is surely Tom Gleeson at his best. Yeah. You know what that is? That's fucking racism, okay, Melbourne? That is racism. Oh, I guess all the white comedians named Tom look the same to you, do they? You're cancelled, bitch! How dare you respect me? My name is Tom Ballard, and I do comedy stand-up! So I'm gay, which is pretty funny, and you get to do some fun stuff when you're gay. For example, a couple of years ago, I had gay sex with a witch. Any questions? Sure, I had gay sex with a witch. Any witches in tonight? That was a trap. Well done, well done. Few witches sitting there going, you're not going to get us like that, Tom. Burn me twice, shame on me. It's true, I had gay sex with a witch. And I've got to tell you, I love saying that. It's got a great phrase, I had gay sex with a witch. It's got a cool rhythm, I had gay sex with a witch. It sounds like it should be a vocal warm-up. I had gay sex with a witch. I had gay sex with a witch. Witch, the witch with which I had gay sex. I willingly wanked off a witch. I willingly wanked off a witch. We used red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Guys, if you don't laugh, it's homophobic, okay? So... Here's what happened. I was at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 2019. I met a man. I liked him very much. We started flirting. We went back to my place, and he brought up the topic of astrology. He asked me if I was a Sagittarius. I said, no thanks, I'm vaccinated. And me know that he identifies as a witch. And yes, people, men can be witches. It's 2023, okay? I'm sick of this. Only women can be witches, only men can be wizards. That's very binary, yeah? Fuck you, J.K. Rowling. Magic is a spectrum, okay? Doesn't matter if you're a witch or a wizard or a crone or a sorceress. I will fuck you, all right? I'm pretty woke like that. This guy told me he identifies as a witch. I was a bit taken aback, okay? Up until that point, I'd exclusively had sex with muggles. I once gave a hand job to a warlock, but hey, that's Mardi Gras, am I right, guys? You know what I'm like? Give me enough nose candy, I'll finger a druid. So... told me he's a witch, I was a bit freaked out, and then I sort of got over it, and we had a lovely time. He went straight to Hogwarts, that's what I call my penis now, and he earned 20 points for Gryffindor, I'll tell you that much. He sank that basilisk fang into my chamber of secrets. And at the end, he came all over me, and I was like, oh, I'm melting! And we laughed and laughed. Like this. He was really hot, okay? The hottest goddamn witch I've ever seen. He was so hot, I could ignore the fact that he told me he was a witch, okay? That's a level of hotness we're talking about. Fucking witch hot, all right? I'm not witch hot, I'm fine. If you were considering having sex with me and I told you I was a witch, you'd go, I'd probably leave it. Not this guy. He was witch hot. He wasn't Nazi hot, that's very rare. Nazi hot is very rare. Chris Hemsworth is Nazi hot, okay? If I got to fuck Chris Hemsworth just before we started, said, by the way, Tom, I'm a white supremacist, I'd say, haha, you're funny, no talking. Yeah! You are having a whale of a time. I don't love it. Everyone else, get to her level, please. Yes, I'm a queer man and I'm in love. Thank you very much. I'm excited. I've got a boyfriend. We've been together for 4 years. I love him very much. He's fantastic. He's probably the most homophobic person in my life. Which is a bit odd. I've never been called by the man who sucks your dick, but it really throws you. It feels kind of wrong. This is a funny bit that'll do. We'll be having a romantic moment. I'll look in his eyes going, I love you, man. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. And he'll just pause and go, gay. It gets me every time. As a queer man, I'm offended. As a comedian, I'm delighted. That's wonderful stuff. He'll say crook shit all the time. The other day we were talking about what our wedding might look like if we ever got married. My boyfriend genuinely said that at our wedding, he wants me and him to face off in a gladiator-style fight, and direct quote, whoever loses is the woman. What the fuck? Am I dating my high school bully? What the fuck is this shit? He's recently started calling me big fella. Don't like that. Here he comes, bloody big fella! He's also nicknamed my penis Cheryl. Couldn't you call the penis big fella? That would be better for me. He said, no, big fella, I can't. And shush, Cheryl can hear you. He's a 25-year-old professional circus acrobat. Yes, every time we're going, woo! He must be pretty flexible. People assume we're having crazy, freaky circus sex, like he's doing backflips onto my dick and juggling my balls, we're sucking off the Ringling Brothers, I'm getting eaten out by an elephant. None of that is happening, okay? We're having nice, normal, boring gay anal sex, okay? Classic, vanilla, Christian gay anal sex. That's all we're doing. It's missionary anal, okay, Melbourne? Isn't that a weird, horny assumption to make about someone's sex life just based on the profession of their partner? Like, oh, you're dating an accountant, are you? Does he order your pussy? Oh, What are you doing to your teacher? Does she smack your little butt when you're naughty? What's that? You doing to your cop? Does he beat you and use racial slurs? Oh, go easy on the cops, Tom. They're always good. Any cops in? Good. Makes for a better vibe. If you are a cop, you have to tell me. No, you have to. It's the law. He's a real sweet guy, my boyfriend. I don't want to give you the wrong idea. He's a sweetheart. He does sweet things for me. In November of last year, for example, my boyfriend told me he was going to surprise me for my birthday by taking me horseback trail riding. Now, I love horses. I used to go horseback trail riding as a kid. I love Black Beauty. I had an imaginary horse that I used to play with in our backyard that I named Sapphire. Gay. Full stop. So it was a really sweet idea for my boyfriend. But we didn't get to go horseback trail riding, like good friends in Melbourne, because my boyfriend made a few inquiries, and apparently the horseback trail riding establishment in question had recently introduced a rider weight limit policy, and apparently this was unacceptable. Okay, the limit was 110 kilos, I'm 120 kilos, I'm officially too fat to ride a goddamn horse. Sorry, hello, do you guys know horses? Are you familiar with horses, yeah? I've always had the impression horses are pretty fucking sturdy animals, okay? They're big units, they're jacked, they're ripped, they work out. Every day's a leg day for a horse. Hello, too fat for a horse! For centuries, horses have been drawing carriages, carrying around knights in shining armour. We literally measure shit in fucking horsepower. But apparently these soy boy beta ponies down at Friendly Sam's mahogany trail rides, these fucking Shetland cucks, these fucking glue factory rejects, heard they might be lugging my fat ass around. They went to HR, that's Horses Resources, and they said, no! It's a health and safety nightmare! I was furious. I called them up. I said, fuck your rules, get me a Clydesdale or something. Can't you pump one of them full of ivermectin or ketamine or... What are the horses going to do? They're not in the union. Just tell them to lift with their knees. I told that joke through the Melbourne Comedy Festival. And a woman came up to after the show and said, oh, if you're interested, there's a place in Dandenong that does plus-size horse rides. And I can get you a discount if you like. I said, thank you so much, but I'd rather kill myself. Thank you very much. True story. So yeah, those are my big updates, everybody. Released a special. Had gay sex with a witch. Fell in love. Too fat for a horse. It's been a crazy couple of years. I guess my other news is that last year I wrote and released a book. Anybody get my book? Two claps. Okay, you guys are people, you're obsessed with me, okay? There's a parasocial relationship forming here. And we need some space. Down the front, was it you, sir? You got... Oh, thanks. Did you like the book? I did. Great. I got it on Kindle and paperback. You got it on Kindle and paperback? That's odd.
Because you gave me the paperback.
Because I gave you the paperback. Oh, and then you went and bought it on Kindle?
No, I got it on Kindle.
You're already on Kindle. Oh, right. And then I... Yes.
You spoke to me.
Yes.
Now?
Like now.
I wanted to buy the book at the end so you could sign it.
Yeah, right. And I gave it to you for free. God, I'm a legend. Just like we rehearsed. Well done, mate. You've already seen the show. Yeah. All right, freaking me out a little bit now, buddy. Funny? Oh, stop it. Thanks, man. Nice to see you again. Man who I definitely remember. Well, if you haven't got the book, please do check it out, my friends. You might like it. It's called Spare. And, it wasn't released under my name. I wrote it for a friend. No, the book is called I, Millennial, One Snowflake Screed Against Boomers, Billionaires and Everything Else. It basically lays out how my generation, the millennials, have been comprehensively fucked over by neoliberal capitalism when it comes to work, housing, privatisation, education, wealth inequality, the climate crisis. It explains how this class society we have has hollowed us out, is killing us all, and our only hope of a better, more democratic future is a left-wing populist revolution to bring about something akin to democratic socialism. Yeah, it's had a pretty big impact. Have you guys been enjoying all the socialism lately? You're welcome. That's the Ballard bump, baby! This guy knows what I'm talking about. No, the book did nothing. It didn't end capitalism or make me any money. And it's fucking bleak, man. I don't know about you. To me, last year was like really fucking, really grim. Last year I was like, I think we're actually going backwards now as a species. We're actually devolving. Back at war with Russia, Taliban are back in charge, the US and the West backing in, war crimes in the Middle East, we're winding back abortion rights. The new Samsung Galaxy is a fucking flip phone. And Channel 7 is doing Australian Idol. What the fuck is going on? We're Benjamin buttoning our way towards the apocalypse. By the time it arrives, we'll have devolved into little babies wearing Vote for Pedro t-shirts. Just shitting into our nappies and listening to Crazy Frog. Just... We're going backwards. And we're all becoming obsolete, right? I'm sure the big story of the past year, everything going to be outsourced to artificial intelligence. Absolutely everything outsourced to AI. Everything. I didn't write any of these jokes, guys. This is all ChatGPT. Anyway, what's the deal with kill all humans? All right, that deserved more, to be honest. I did it when ChatGPT came out like every other comedian. I asked him to write me a few jokes for the show. It did not work out well. I think we got very different ideas about what constitutes satire, me and ChatGPT. Threw out some current events. See what it came up with, all right? It said, hey, Elon Musk, that guy's in the news all the time. Hey, ChatGPT, write me a joke about Elon Musk. This is what it gave me. Why did Elon Musk invent the electric car? To save the environment and to power his army of robots with renewable energy. Fucking got him. Roasted! You want some aloe vera after that sick burn, Elon? Woo! Dog shit. Thought I'd try geopolitics, rising tensions with China. That's a very big story. I said, hey, ChatGPT, write me a joke about China. Okay, that's what it gave me. Why did the Chinese man wear a red string around his wrist? So he could find his way back to his noodle shop. Yeah, not cool, bro. All right, that's definitely racist. But I'm not sure why. It sounds like it was written by a guy who wants to be racist about Chinese people, but has none of the details. Yeah, bloody Chinese with their fucking red string in their shops, it's a disgrace! Why can't they all get back in their hot air balloons and fuck off back to Antarctica? I've done no research! Generally gave me that joke, and then just a second later, this paragraph appeared underneath it. It said, it's important to note that making a joke about an entire country can be considered offensive. It's important to avoid telling jokes which demean a group of people based on their race, ethnicity, or culture. You just did the noodle shop joke. It's there. It's like in the 2 seconds between paragraphs, the chatbot was sent on a sensitivity training course, reflected on its past material, held itself accountable, and pledged to do better in the future. Which is crazy. It means that this chatbot is more emotionally advanced than Ricky Gervais. Isn't that incredible? Oh, boom! I'm not going anywhere, you fucking robots! Yeah, Ricky Gervais. Where's that now, eh? During the World Playing the Stadium's Netflix special? What a piece of shit. He's not in the corner recording a special for YouTube. I win. The most offensive response I got was this. I said, hey, ChatGPT, write me a joke about Tom Ballard. I said, I'm sorry, I don't know who Tom Ballard is. Not even the fucking robots have Paramount Plus. Gran, man. Last year was fucking bleak. The Queen died. And that was like the only funny thing that happened. You know, it was... Come on! What, are you still mourning? Oh! It's been a year, people. Move on! Fuck her. Fuck Imperial Grandma. Yeah! Fuck that old dead lady. I said it! Come on, we can laugh. 96 years, that's a very good innings, especially for a lizard. Okay, they don't normally go that far. 96 not actually that impressive, I thought, for the Queen of England. One of the richest people in the world. She had the best medical attention her entire life. This bitch still couldn't crack the century. Soft cock. She was a fucking soft cock. Melbourne, admit it! I guess that's what happens when your cousin is your dad. But she can't hear you guys. She's dead, okay? She's colonised your mind. Free yourselves. She's not going to come back and haunt your dreams. The Queen is not coming back as a ghost. That would require work ethic and initiative, okay? She's in the next life, hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, going over alibis, okay? That's what you do. Oh, yes, it couldn't have been Andrew. We can't sweat. Yes, very believable. Oh, it's quite hot down here, isn't it? All right, people not laughing should know this is the rest of the show. Come on, Tom, she was an incredible woman. A remarkable woman. Extraordinary. She was so dignified. She never complained, did she? Heard that a lot last year. You know, she never complained, did she? She never once complained. Complain about what? Living in luxury, hanging out with Paul McCartney, the fact that the Crown is legally exempt from inheritance taxes or corporation taxes, and because of sovereign immunity, she can never be prosecuted for a criminal or civil proceeding. She never complained about that. What a fucking hero! Never worked a day in her life. Being Queen is not a real job, said the comedian. Okay? Yelling about your dick on the corner on a Monday for YouTube. This is work, okay? No, Tom, she provided a sense of stability and continuity during the 70 years of her reign. She provided a sense of continuity and stability during the 70 years of her reign. Yes, apparently she did that by sitting on $38 billion worth of assets and occasionally releasing a message to us, her subjects, talking about all those issues that were never going to affect her in very vague terms and offering no solutions whatsoever. My husband and I have heard about how tough things are at the moment, and, whew. Sounds pretty bad. Inflation and poverty, and some of you don't have property or something? Sucks to be you. Well, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And Jesus, 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 Lizzie out! Not a fan. '96 for the Queen of England. Piss week. I guess I've got something to compare it to. All right, check this out, friends. Last year at age 99, my Gran survived COVID and the flu to make it to her 100th birthday. How about that? Come on! 100! That is some gangster shit from Nola Ballard. Yeah! Woo! How long have I done? Gangster shit from Nola. And yes, her name's Nola. You know why? Because she's 100 years old. Right? That's what happened in the 20s. People gave birth to little girls. They gave them names like Nola and Ethel and Gladys because they knew those girls were going to grow up to be grandmas. And those are proper grandma names, okay? We're not doing that anymore. Shit's going to be weird for my generation's grandkids, okay? So no grandma should be named Stacy, okay? No. Come on, kids, time to go visit Grandpa Cody. No, we don't want to go. His name's wrong. My granny's lived for 100 years old, you guys. Full century, non-stop, flat-out life. She didn't die once, you guys, not once. 100 years old, that's so fucking old. That's 3 full Jesuses and half a pandemic. The woman has lived through 24 Olympic Games, okay? Yeah, and the 4th one was run by the fucking Nazis. Imagine that. Dad, who's hosting the Olympics this year? The Nazis. Oh, man! The mascots are going to be awful. Oh, sorry, too soon for 1936 gear? 100 years old. I mean, my gran has lived longer than the Queen of England did. That's fucking crazy. My gran wasn't a monarch. She was a typist. Whatever the fuck that was. I haven't looked it up. I assume a typist is someone who judges other people based on the way they type. My gran was a massive typist. One time she bashed a stenographer in the street. It was crazy. That's a bit of fun with words. My gran has lived longer than the Queen of England. That's fucking nuts. My gran doesn't live in Buckingham Palace. She lives in a privatised Australian aged care facility. Yeah, the less royal palace, little more royal commission. Okay? Now, we're going there. Lock the doors. Here we go. In some cultures, particularly in Asia, there's a social expectation that elderly people stay at the family home and are cared for by their children until they pass away. In the decadent capitalist West, we have a different method. We prefer to Guantanamo Bay that shit. That's the system. When a relative becomes old and gross, you send them off to a suburb you've never fucking heard of. So they can live in a place with a name like Helping Hands Village or Golden Years Gardens or St. COVID's Pre-Heaven Waiting Lounge. And then they can live out their final days on a steady diet of Daniel's Direct and cat food. Yay! That's the solution. Send them off to wrinkly Alcatraz, never watch Four Corners. Problem solved. All right, there are too many baby boomers here tonight. This is too close to the bone. I can feel it. Guys, it's fine. Old people like being sad. It reminds them of the Depression, okay? They love it. They don't complain. They're the silent generation. It's perfect. Oh, fuck the guilt. The guilt's in the room right now. The whole system, of course, propped up on the guilt and the lies we have to tell ourselves. Oh, my gran, she's one of the good ones, actually. No, she's one of the good ones. Yeah, no, she's actually one of the good ones. So it's actually fine. We're good people, aren't we? Yeah, we're good people. Yeah, I can't visit this quarter. But, you know, she's good. Sometimes you lie too hard. She's fucking loving it in there, having the time of her life. You know what? I'm jealous. Let me in there. Yes, please. What's for dessert, Grandma? Maggots and sadness. Yummy, yummy. Oh, I hear your groans, Melbourne. They remind me of the groans echoing through the corridor of a privatised Australian aged care. Fuck you people, you know that's true. Every time you go there, you got to walk through a room. They're all sitting in recliners. It's called the common area. Something they can't call it a living room. That'd be taking the piss. And they're all just sitting there, looking worse than Joe Biden, staring into the middle distance. There's always a Greek guy in the corner who looks older than time and space. This guy, ancient Greece, is just fucking Greece. It's just Greece. Hi, Mr. Papadopoulos. Do you want to be alive anymore? I know that means no, but I can't do anything about that, so I'm just going to turn up the telly, okay, buddy? Guys, it's fine. My gran's in one of the good ones, okay? It's fine. I won't stop until I've lost all of you. Oh, it's coming for all of us. My parents in their 70s now, they're saying, Tom, you were never going to put us in a place like that. You were never going to put us in a place like that. And I think that's cute. Cute that they think they'll have a say. They've already given me the power of attorney. The fools! Tom, he said he'd never put us in a nursing home. Well, Mum, thanks to deregulation, these places aren't legally required to have a nurse on staff, so it's technically not a nursing home, so much as it is a high-security people farm. Bye-bye! Merry Christmas! Oh, laugh it up, young people, it's coming for you too. I actually think millennials are going to do pretty well in the nursing home. We're used to renting. Smashed avocado, mashed banana, it's all the same. We're going to be fine with strangers wipe our asses. We're used to having them licked, okay? We'll be fine. Millennials in the nursing home, binge-watching Friends on Netflix, going over old TikTok albums. Every now and again, a choir from the local school will come in and sing some old-timey Avril Lavigne. Yay! And we'll sing along. He was a boy, and she was a girl. Can I make it any more? Hey! Good Christian comedy. Yeah, so the Queen's dead. Had some big deaths recently, hey? Queen died, Pope Benedict died, George Pell died, Barry Humphries died. It's been a terrible year for dresses. I tell you who's not dead. Rupert Murdoch. Come on, Rupert, let's wrap it up. Let's Logan Roy this shit, okay? This 2,000-year-old, dried-up walnut Emperor Palpatine-looking motherfucker. Have you seen Rupert Murdoch lately? Oh, no bueno. Rupert Murdoch looks like a puppet of Rupert Murdoch. It's fucked up. How can you be that rich and look that fucked? How can you have $18 billion and still look like a racist melted candle? Ow! Okay, I've lost some of you again. Here, come on. Some people don't like it when you make fun of people's physical appearance. They say, hey, Tom, make fun of what people do, don't make fun of how they look, okay? And generally, I agree with that principle in comedy. I really do. What people don't know is that principle does not legally apply to billionaires, okay? That's the deal we have. If you're a billionaire, you get to run society. We get to talk shit about your fuck faces and gross bodies. It's a great system. Rupert looks a racist melted candle. Elon Musk is Aldi Val Kilmer. And Clive Palmer and Gina Reinhardt are fucking fat. They're fat! They're big old chunky fuckers! Big old Snorlax-looking motherfuckers walking around with their super yachts and their sweaty gunts. Yuck! Oh, they're big and fat and they should be ashamed of themselves. Oh, I'm so fat, but I can't stop eating these orphans. Guys, I'm not making fun of anyone in this room, okay? We're all normal people. If you're struggling with your weight, love and solidarity, I can't legally ride a fucking horse, okay? I'm exclusively talking about the billionaire boombas, okay? The high society hippos, the deluxe dumplings, the jelly belly gentry, the top 1% with 99% body fat, okay? That's what I'm talking about. It's fine, guys. Fat shaming is like economics. It doesn't trickle down, okay? Rupert Murdoch is 92. He had a tough year in 2022, went through his 4th divorce. He and Jerry Hall got divorced and it was very sad. If those two crazy kids can't make it, is love even real? If you don't know, Rupert Murdoch and Jerry Hall got married in 2016. She was 59, he was 85. I find Jerry Hall to be a fascinating person, okay? She used to be a supermodel. She used to go with Brian Ferry from Roxy Music, had 4 kids with Mick Jagger. Then, she married Rupert Murdoch. She went from Jagger to Murdoch. That's a fucking lateral move. She went from Mick Jagger to a guy who looks like Keith Richards fucked a turtle. Why? Why, Jerry? That's tough. Look, it's going to be tough for anyone to fuck Rupert Murdoch in his 80s, okay? He's got the elephant skin and the jowls and his cum's as black as oil, okay? It's going to be difficult. But Jerry can compare that trauma with her actual memory of fucking Mick Jagger in the 1970s. Yeah, you like that, Jerry? I'm fucking your blazer! I'm Mick Jagger! Fuck you, this is a great impression. Come on, Jerry! Have some more coke in it, yeah! Him going down at her with those big wet Jagger lips. Just, I'll eat you out, yeah! He probably made her come so hard the choir from You Can't Always Get What You Want just started singing in her head. Just, woo! Now imagine having that memory in your head when 40 years later you're getting pumped by Rupert Murdoch's shriveled, frail, liver-spotted, Antiques Roadshow-worthy Hans Molman devil cock. Imagine that. And then when he's finished, he sits on his shower seat, you gotta hose him down. You gotta, oh God. I can't get no. I've won awards. Not recently. I think a good thing about the Queen's death. Yeah, it's still going. Generally, I thought it was good how, when the Queen passed away, I thought it was good how we as a society didn't overreact. I think we played it pretty chill. Kept everything in proportion. Jokes, lol, everyone lost their fucking minds! That hurt a lot, I regret that immediately. We went mental. In Australia, we suspended our parliament for 15 days, National Day morning. The ABC sent 29 journalists to London to cover the Queen's death. What the fuck are you doing? What's the latest on the Queen, Richard? She's still dead, Michael. It's important that I'm here. No one else is touching this story. Dude, she died on a Friday. That weekend, I drove past a McDonald's. They were flying the Macca's flag at half-mast. I'm sure that's what she would have wanted. I was so moved. Saw that, pulled over, sang the national anthem. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! Every politician lost their goddamn minds. There was a guy at the Queensland Parliament from Bob Katter's Australian Party who gave a speech about the Queen in which he described her as the Michael Jordan of aristocracy. Which I would argue is the Mozart of shit comparisons. Thank you, sir. The funeral was fucking nuts. I read an article about a gay sauna in London called the Pleasure Drome, okay? They announced that on the day of the Queen's funeral, they would be staying open as a gay sauna. But as a sign of respect for Her Majesty, they wouldn't be playing any music and they'd be broadcasting the funeral on every TV screen in the venue. And that is the most British shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. The idea of the Queen's funeral playing in the background as dozens of pasty confirmed bachelors bugger each other in mournful silence, gently sobbing as they go at it corgi style. Just, oh, yes! This one's for you, Lizzie! Hands down, the best reaction to the Queen's death came from an Australian rugby league player. Her name's Caitlin Moran. She's a First Nations woman. She's a Gummaroy and Unai woman. She plays for the Newcastle Knights. On the day that the Queen died, Caitlin Moran posted a photo of the Queen and she tweeted this. Today's a good fucking day. Uncle Luke announces his tour and this dumb dog dies. Happy fucking Friday. Now, I don't know about you guys, to me, that's Australian of the Year shit, okay? Referring to the recently deceased 96-year-old monarch as this dumb dog. That is fucking Prince Philip level insensitive. And she got punished so severely. She got suspended for a match, they docked 25% of her pay, and she had to go to these compulsory classes to learn about the responsible use of social media, which is fucking outrageous. Sending a rugby league player into an educational environment is one of the cruelest things you can do. They're gonna get eaten alive. Fuck that shit, man. I hated all of it. Fuck the monarchy. I've never been a fan, but over the past couple of years, holy shit, they have royally jumped the royal fucking shark. Fuck them. Fuck this racist, outdated, anti-democratic, corrupt, imperialist institution that just justifies the fucked up, unequal class society in which we live. Fuck the dead Queen. Fuck Prince Andrew. Fuck King Charles III. His Majesty and the King of England. Fuck him and his giant fat German sausage fingers. Oh, did he look amazing at the coronation with the sword of destiny and the orb of forgiveness and the fucking slippers of noncery or whatever the fuck he was wearing? Fuck the royal family. And that includes Harry and Meghan too, by the way. Some people are like, oh, do you like the royal family? Or are you team Harry and Meghan? You're allowed to hate all of them. And I encourage you to do so. Fuck Harry, that balding helicopter war criminal with his frozen little todger. Fuck him! And fuck Meghan Markle and her faux naivety. Oh my God, you guys, I married into the royal family, and guess what? They're weird! If only there had been some signs. Oh, leave us alone. All we ever wanted was our privacy and a Netflix deal. Fuck them. Now, I know this is not particularly radical for me to say, okay? Sex Pistols called them a fascist regime in 1977. Hundreds of comedians have told literally thousands and thousands of jokes about how ridiculous and outdated and anti-democratic this institution is. And in the grand scheme of things, yes, there are far more important things to worry about. At the same time, they're still fucking there. Still going. In the year 2023, the year of our Lord, the royal family just keeps going, coming back. They're like fucking herpes or Australian Idol. And we can't seem to get rid of them here in Australia. Do you want a republic? Yes, the people are rising. The movement is unstoppable. Yeah. 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 Do we get a day off for that or what? That'd be time and a half, eh? I agree with you. I just don't think we can do it. We can't get rid of the monarchy. We couldn't get rid of plastic bags in this country, okay? Truly, Charles and Camilla are the greatest plastic bags of all. Don't think about that joke. It makes no sense. Of course we can't get rid of the monarchy. We can't change anything in Australia. Fuck, we hate changing things in Australia. Can't change anything. Can't get rid of the monarchy. We can't change our fucking constitution. Can't change the date of Australia Day. Can't get rid of the Lord's Prayer. Can't fucking legalise weed. Can't fix the fucking internet. We couldn't get rid of Neighbours, for fuck's sake. Neighbours! Neighbours had a 37-year run. Came on air, we had a big farewell. We said, bye-bye, Neighbours. Thanks for everything. Time for something new now. And then Amazon came along and said, no! More Neighbours! We've got more to learn from Tony and Carl and doctors. Just fuck off and die! Fuck and give me a show and fuck off! All right, that was a bit much. We can't become a republic. What do we do? Have a president? Can you imagine anyone saying, hi everyone, I'm the president of Australia. Get the fuck out of here. No one to respect. The president of Australia would have the same authority level as Donut King. Okay, same vibe. We're not a real country. Anyone? Hello? What are we? We used to be a British prison. Now we're just a US military base. Pretty soon we're going to be China's Bali. Okay? That's the future. Come on. Once we run out of shit to dig up, the whole economy propped up with Chinese schoolies, okay? They're not getting Bali belly. Aussie arse, mate. Fucking Aussie arse. Not getting barley braids, rat tails and mullets, okay? Rat tails and mullets, following their red strings back to their noodle shops, whatever the fuck that means. We're not real. I've been to other countries. They don't think we're real, okay? At best, we're a Simpsons episode to the Northern Hemisphere. A few years ago, I was in London. I got into an Uber, and the guy said, "Hey, mate, where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Australia." I said, "Oh, yeah? Where's that?" What am I supposed to say? South, mate. It's south from here. I've never had to give directions to Australia before. Steal a loaf of bread and turn left, buddy. You'll find it. I said, "Oh, it's kind of near New Zealand." And he said, "Oh, yeah. What the fuck, man? We're a continent, sir. Have some respect. That's the Northern Hemisphere. No one gives a shit. No country in the G7 has ever been like, hang on, everyone, have we run this by Australia? Have we checked this big important thing with Australia? Like, fuck it, those criminals will be fine. If they're not, what are they going to do? Write us an angry email in 12 hours? Who gives a shit? I think the rest of the world thinks of Australia the same way our society thinks about the elderly, okay? They live far away, their opinion doesn't matter, and if you talk to them, you're going to hear something racist. Well, it's almost over, everyone. You've all done very well. Thank you very much for coming. Please do get my book. I think there are one or two of you who hadn't got to that yet. Some of you have 2 copies, might like to share. Fun fact, the book is published by Simon & Schuster, the publishing company. They're owned by a parent company called Paramount Global. And I've worked with Paramount before. They're great editors. Published by Simon & Schuster, distributed by a company called HarperCollins, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch. You can also see me in a TV show called Deadloch on Amazon Prime, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, who's a billionaire, and in that show I play a cop. Capitalism sucks. Please support my career. So, the Queen died on the 8th of September, 2022. R.I.P. 3 weeks after that, about 6 weeks after she turned 100, so did my Gran Nola. We suspect foul play. Guys, she was 100. Hello? Some of you look at me like, wow, what a twist. This is incredible narrative work here from Ballard. No, she passed away, and it was very sad. She was my last surviving grandparent, and even though she lived a long time, it was still sad to see her go. I love my gran very much. I know she loved me too. Now, that's not to say there wasn't some weirdness in our relationship. She was 100 years old, I'm 34. It's quite a gap. Every now and again, it felt like I didn't really maybe always connect or know who my gran was. You know, did I know my gran? We met through my dad. It's kind of a friend of a friend situation, you know? I could always tell how little we had in common whenever I'd call her in the nursing home, right? I tried to be a good grandson, I'd call her up, and just nothing to say. I can't tell her about my life. My life is having sex with my boyfriend, doing drugs, and doing horrible comedy about how I suck dick and do drugs. She doesn't need to hear that shit. Yes, Gran, many cocks. Many cocks in many holes. I'll try not to get monkeypox, yes. The recording went well, thank you. I think the audience wished it went longer. Yeah, I broke a stand. And that what she gave me? She did. All right, Gran, love you, I'll let you go. That's how I used to wrap up conversations with Gran. Love you, Gran, I'll let you go. I know you're flat out in there, I'll let you go. Dude, sometimes she gave me the wrap-up. She went, all right, Tom, thanks for calling. It's like, how shit is my conversation? That a 100-year-old woman in a nursing home is going, all right, see ya. Fucking hell, what a punish. Rather listen to the groaning than that shit. Fucking hell. But yes, my gran passed away, and we mourned for her privately as a family. We had a funeral. We kept it pretty low-key, unlike some people. We decided against Westminster Abbey in the end. The ABC didn't cover it. McDonald's offered. We said, no, leave them up. Gay saunas carried on as per. I checked. Because that's our society, right? This woman gets born into the ruling class and the aristocracy. She dies. It's the end of the fucking world. Ordinary, decent, working class person like my gran passes away and goes, just a Tuesday. I thought maybe I should try and rectify that balance a little bit. Maybe I should, dedicate this show to the memory of my gran. And then I thought, no, she would have hated this. I cannot express to you how much this was not her cup of tea. She didn't like swearing or blasphemy. She would have hated the gay stuff. She voted no to marriage equality. And, guys, it's fine. We won and she's dead. And, no, that's not cool. She didn't have Paramount Plus. And she quite liked the royal family. She got a letter from the Queen for turning 100. Remember, we had a big party for her 100th birthday. She got the letter. I remember her reading it. It said, Mrs. Ballard, I am pleased to hear that you are celebrating your 100th birthday. My sincere congratulations and best wishes on this very special day. Sent from my iPad. And I remember watching my gran read that letter at that party, and she started to cry. And she said, this little whippersnapper's not going to last the winter. She's weak. Look at the handwriting. See, that's the kind of joke she would have hated. So no, this show is not dedicated to my gran specifically, but it is my little way of remembering who she was. She was born Nola Evelyn Nealons in 1922. When she was 10 years old, she was isolated in the hospital for 3 months during the scarlet fever epidemic. She turned 18 in 1940. She taught herself how to drive. She'd later teach my grandpa Ron how to drive as well. Her father fought in World War I. She lost a brother in World War II. She raised 3 kids and worked on a farm. She was amazing at canasta and she was a beast at table tennis. Oh, she'd fuck you up. She was great. Probably my favourite thing about my gran is that at no point in her life did she give millions of pounds to her son's civil sexual assault case after he had been credibly accused of pedophilic abuse during the years in which he travelled the world with a billionaire sex trafficking monster. Not once, guys. She didn't do that once. Nor did she conspire to kill her daughter-in-law and make it look like an accident. Okay, so... she was a pretty cool lady. Fuck the monarchy. Call your gran. Thank you for coming. Good night.